Hello friends, how you doing? I am so excited to talk to you today about one of my favorite subjects, which is the entrepreneurial mindset. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways to grow, develop, to build an entrepreneurial mindset. Now, you might be wondering, what is an entrepreneurial mindset? If you haven't heard that term before, you can Google it and get all sorts of things that people say are an entrepreneurial mindset. I actually got an email today. I happened to be speaking on the subject tonight, but I got an email today that had 28 different things that are of the way that entrepreneurs think differently. And if you contrast it with the 9 to 5 mindset, you'll see that there is definitely some crossovers. There's things that, basically being a high performer, working hard, having excellence in your job, being great at what you do. There are definitely crossovers between whether you're working for someone else or if you're working for yourself. But there's some very unique things that entrepreneurs have in their mindset if they're going to be successful. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. So thanks, those of you who are joining me live. Welcome, welcome. Where are you joining me from? And I'd love to know, what do you think is an entrepreneurial mindset? What are some of the things, what are some of the characteristics, the traits, the way that entrepreneurs need to think differently? Because we're talking about our thought life, right? We're talking about the thinking patterns that we need to have as entrepreneurs. So if you have any of your own thoughts about what you think is a successful entrepreneur mindset, I'd love it if you pop it in the chat box and just write some comments. Now, when I've been asking this question to people lately, because once I get kind of obsessed with a topic, I ask everyone, what do you think? And I've been talking to quite a lot of friends about this topic of how to be a successful entrepreneur. What's the actual mindset that's different? And something that's coming up a lot is this concept of commitment. And so I want to give you 3. And the first one is, if you want to grow this mindset of this entrepreneurial mindset, the first one is to be committed. Be committed. So lots of things came up in the conversations that I was asking people about. Resilience, the ability to figure things out, the ability to go through failure, the ability to just keep going and not give up. Some people were talking about the hustle and the grind and what our opinion is on those words, because yes, we need to work hard, but we also need to balance that with well-being. But what I thought really encompassed a lot of what we were talking about is actually this ability to be committed. So the first tip is to be committed. And this covers so many things. If you are committed to figuring things out, no matter what it takes, you're going to figure it out, then that means that you're going to have this mindset of growth, right? Because you're committed to whatever it takes and going all in on it, rather than kind of just dipping your toe in the water and saying, oh, I'm just going to stay safe, but if it doesn't work out, then I'll go back to another job. If you're committed to being the identity of an entrepreneur, then it's amazing how the resources flow to you, how the people flow to you, how the money flows to you. When you're committed and you say, this is what I'm doing, this is who I am, and no matter what it takes, I'll figure it out. And I've been doing a lot of reading on the entrepreneurial mindset and watching a lot of videos of people talking and TED Talks about the success entrepreneur mindset. And people are saying, it's not that I'm any smarter, it's not that I've got a super personality, it's none of that. It's actually an even, equal playing field when it comes to entrepreneurship. And in fact, a lot of entrepreneurs, they say that they don't feel smart and that they haven't got a traditional education or, typically had great marks at school or anything like that. So any of us can choose to be an entrepreneur because everything can be learned, which is amazing. With technology the way it is, with the courses, with the amount of information that we have access to, any of us can choose this as a venture, as a vocation, as something that we actually get paid for. But we've got to be committed. We've got to be committed to no matter what happens, because it is going to be tough, I'm going to keep going. So that's the first tip, is to be committed. Be committed to what you want. Be committed to that vision that you have of your future best self, of your dream life, of your vision. And I spoke in the last video about clarity and the importance of clarity. I talked about 3 things that successful entrepreneurs need to have, and the first one is clarity, super important. And the second one I'm talking about is the entrepreneurial mindset. And so when you know yourself, when you know your vision, your goals, when you know your plan, when you actually have a plan and you're working towards it every day and you're committed to it, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter whether you wake up in the morning and you say, oh, I kind of can't be bothered today, because you're committed. You're all in, and you are saying, I'm going to set deadlines and I'm actually going to stick to them because I don't have a boss telling me what to do, right? When you're the entrepreneur, you are the leader, you're the CEO, and you're also the person doing the grunt work until you have a team. So you have to come from that mindset of, okay, I have to show up no matter what. I have to be committed. And there's actually some research that shows that when we set a deadline, it actually doubles our likelihood that we're going to achieve it if we actually have a deadline. And if we set a goal that's specific and not ambiguous, but really specific, like I'm going to make 10 phone calls every single day for a month, that's a clear goal. Or I'm going to get 5 clients by the end of this month, or I'm going to run 3 meetup events, 4 webinars, and blah blah in this quarter. You know, those goals that are very specific, they have a deadline, you know when the deadline is, you're double the likelihood of achieving it than if you just say, oh, my goal is to have a great business. You know, so ambiguous goals don't work, and also goals without deadlines don't work. So commitment, number 1. Thanks for joining me. Hello, who we got on here? We got Timo. Hi Timo. Hi Claire. Hi Corrine, good to see you on here. Hi Bernie. Corrine says, I love deadlines, right? We have to set deadlines, and it gives us that energy, it gives us that motivation and that drive to actually get the thing done. So commitment, number 1. All right, number 2 is to be curious. Be curious. When you're curious, you will ask yourself a lot of questions, and you will also ask other people a lot of questions. I get quite surprised sometimes when I ask people questions and they don't know the answer to it, and I know that they haven't been asking themselves that question. So for example, I'll say to someone, tell me about your dreams. And often people fumble over their answer and they don't really have their dreams articulated, or they don't have any goals. I say, what goals are you working on at the moment? Because I've always set goals and it's always really helped me. It doesn't mean I achieve them all, but the pursuit of a goal is actually what makes you stronger. Pursuing goals is part of the entrepreneurial mindset, to have the mindset of pursuing challenges that stretch you, that go beyond you. Because the 9-to-5 mentality, when I was working 9 to 5, it was you learn your job, you get good at it, and then you just rinse and repeat every day. And so I wasn't having to bring creativity or innovation or growth to it. I was having to just turn up, do my job, and go home. And for me, that was really hard because I'm a very curious person. I like learning why. I like figuring out how to do things better. I remember I was working for this insurance company, and we would have to post people a claims form. This is going back a long time. But I remember saying to my manager at the time, why don't we scan it in? Or why don't we go paperless? And she was very opposed to the idea. No, this is the way we've always done it. This is the way we do it. And I was trying to rock, I wasn't trying to rock the boat purposely, but I was trying to, you know, bring in some new ideas, and I was curious about how to do things better, but those kind of got shut down. It was more this industrial mindset of just churn out the factory line work and just get it done. But when you're an entrepreneur, you can get really curious. How can I do things better? How can I plan better? How can I be this person, this best future self? So entrepreneurs constantly think, who's the best version of myself that I'm working towards? And they start living out of that on a daily basis. For example, let's say you want to be a great speaker. You want to be an excellent communicator. Well, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to do that in 3 years, you start turning up on a smaller level now. You start doing Facebook Lives now. You start getting in front of groups of people and practicing and being that identity of a speaker in order to live that best future self. rather than saying, oh, I've got this goal for way in the future. You start living it. You start acting as if you're that now, because you're not going to get better until you show up as that person and practice and get better. And entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, they don't mind showing up and getting it wrong. They are not attached to perfectionism, because perfectionism, my friend recently said to me, perfectionism is fear in high heels. I thought it was really cool. Perfectionism is fear in high heels. It's just doubt and fear and keeping us small and keeping us stuck. When you're curious, you think, okay, what's an even bigger goal? What's an even cooler thing that I can aim towards, instead of just staying stuck at that status quo? So being curious is how can I update my skills? How can I get more knowledge? It's being hungry to learn, it's placing yourself in learning environments all the time, which I'm sure you guys that are on here do, because you show up and you listen to lives and you no doubt go to seminars and events and workshops. And so that curiosity, if you have that naturally, it's an asset as an entrepreneur. If you don't have it naturally, how you can start incorporating it into your life is actually just start asking yourself more questions, more quality questions. And I actually write them. I ask, how can I make this week better than last week? How can I make this event the best event that I've ever run? How can I be the best version of myself for people today? How can I show up differently? So questions, 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 and lots of research. Okay, so the first one, be committed. Second one, be curious. Number 3, be outstanding. When I first heard this concept of being outstanding, Tony Robbins was talking about it when I was at his Unleash the Power Within event recently, and I thought that it was almost like better than excellence. Like if you actually research the word outstanding, the definition of it, it talks about being the best, being almost like a level above great, because good enough's not good enough anymore. Competition's too great, especially in the marketplace the way it is at the moment. We can't just be great and we can't just be excellent. We've actually got to be outstanding. When I heard that, I thought, wow, I'm already working really hard. I'm already trying to push excellence and working on improving. What else do I need to do? And I actually realized it wasn't necessarily going up, but it was more going lateral. How can I actually go laterally to be different, to stand out? If you're not willing to stand out, which has an element of risk, it has an element of fear, if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur. Outstanding means you show up and you be visible consistently, even if it's not going to be perfect, because you will never do a perfect Facebook Live video. I've never done one. You'll never do a perfect workshop. You'll never do a perfect speech. It's never finished. You never arrive. If you're creative, if you are a high achiever, you never arrive. But you can just keep showing up and standing out and being willing to have a voice, which is not always easy, because you're going to get judged. You're going to get some doubters, some haters, some people doing this on YouTube, right? The most successful people have the most people not liking them. If you see anyone that's doing well, you're going to see people that don't like what they're doing. But if you want to be successful, you've got to be willing to be outstanding, to stand out. And that means being truly, authentically you. You don't actually have to go and change. You don't have to go and do crazy stuff. You don't have to jump off I don't know, do a crazy jump out of the sky. I don't even know why I thought of that. You don't have to do anything crazy. You actually have to just be yourself, because if you're being yourself, you are being outstanding. But I mean truly being you. That means showing up in your full authenticity. That is tough. That's vulnerable. Especially in this world where we can Photoshop everything, where we can edit everything. To be willing to stand out by just being who you are, it is one of the bravest things that you'll ever do. There's a study done of over 20,000 people who are extremely high performers, and they discovered through this study that the most outstanding people are the ones who really understand who they are and perform out of their own authenticity. which a lot of people are trying to change themselves to be someone that they're not. You don't have to do that. You just have to turn up and be the best version of yourself, meaning you're always curious, you're always pushing the boundaries, you're committed, you're always learning, you're always trying your best, and you're willing to just keep showing up consistently. It's not easy, but it's doable. What do you guys think? I'd love it if you could just pop me some love in the comments and just have a share. Out of those 3 tips, which one was your favorite? Be committed, be curious, or be outstanding? Do you have any other mindsets that you think entrepreneurs need? I know there's lots of things that we could talk about, how to have a successful mindset, but I feel like these 3 are very simple and things that you can start taking action on straight away. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you, those of you who are on live. What has been something that's helped you as an entrepreneur in terms of your thinking, your mindset? How do you think entrepreneurship is different to the mindset of working in a company 9 to 5? Timo says, embrace the pain. I love that. Yeah, you've got to embrace it. You've actually got to go right through it. I think sometimes we want to avoid it. We want to go round. We want to find, shortcuts and things that we can do, but actually just going through it. And I was talking about it to my sister today about squatting, and I remember my coach said to me, just stop resisting the pain. The pain is what grows you stronger. Like if you think of going to the gym and putting your muscles under resistance, that's how you get stronger. It's not by retreating back. It's actually by pushing forward and almost isolating that pain and just feeling it. If you're willing to feel pain, you will achieve incredible success because you won't shy away from those fears and doubts that are going to come up. It's so normal for fear and doubt to come up. It is the entrepreneurial journey. It just is. No one has been successful without a whole lot of fear and doubt and anxiety and worry. It's very hard to avoid that because you are pushing outside your comfort zone, and it's not comfortable. But these things can really help you when you're in that place. And George says, need to discipline myself and commit harder. So just start really simple, George. Just write down the one thing that you want to be committed to and just really small steps. What is it specifically that you need to discipline yourself about? And one of the biggest things with discipline is actually to attach it to one of your highest values. So whatever it is that you need to do, that you need to get disciplined around, if you attach it to one of your highest values, you won't need motivation, you won't need willpower, you won't need to be a slave master to yourself. You will actually want to do it. So for example, let's say one of your highest values is achievement, then that's easy, right? Whatever you need to do to get that achievement, you just got to link it together. But if you say my highest value is family, then you need to write down, okay, how is being disciplined going to give me more quality time with my family? As soon as you link your highest values with the tasks that you want to be disciplined around, bang, you won't need that willpower, that motivation. I hope that helps. All right, well, I hope that's been helpful. I'm going to really unpack the entrepreneurial mindset on Thursday, but this is just for the ladies. I will be doing some more stuff for everyone, but just for the ladies, on Thursday, I'm running an event in the city called Secrets of, I always get this tongue twister wrong, Secrets of Successful Female Entrepreneurs. So if you're a lady and you haven't registered, it's actually nearly full. So make sure that you register your space because we're just about full up. So I'll pop the link in the comments so that you can join us. And I will be, I know Timo's like, what? Sorry, Timo. I will be using the content to actually teach separately. So this is just a lady girly time. I don't think you'd like it, Tim. I don't know. Maybe you would, but I'll be teaching the content in a different way. But that's just for the ladies on Thursday. I also have a workshop on Saturday called How to Create Content That Connects. So if you haven't registered for that already, make sure that you register for that. It's all about how to write copywriting for your business and how to create consistent quality content through your blogs, through your articles, your workshops, webinars, and also on video. So it's going to be a really cool day in the city. It's actually a get stuff done day, real action day. So just private message me if you've got any questions about my upcoming events. I've got lots happening in November, something for everyone, and I'd love to see you at a live event soon. If you're in Sydney, George, I know that you're not. You'll have to come to Sydney sometime and check it out, George. Have a beautiful evening, my friends. I look forward to talking to you soon, and take care, and remember, be curious, be committed, and be outstanding. Take care. Bye, guys.